Hello, good afternoon. My name is Ifra and my student ID is 230939997 and my group member is Muhammad Adnan, Adil, Sabir and Asin and the tutorial number is 3 and time is 4 and group is 4 and module name is research skills for management decision in digital marketing and we will talk about the presentation Cambridge Analytica and the ethical of micro-targeted political advertising, a control for stronger control. And my topic is the abstract provides a overview of our study. It centers on Cambridge Analytica's use of unauthorized Facebook user data, our 87 million profile to construct psychometric models for political targeting. These actions were in events like the Trump 2016 campaign and the Brexit referendum. The central research questions asks whether such personalized political advertising should be more tightly regulated. We utilized a secondary data methodology drawing on peer-reviewed literature, government reports, and legal analysis to understand the scope of the issue. The key findings indicates widespread ethical breaches, weak legal enforcement, and significant gaps in global data governance. These findings lay the groundwork for the discussions and recommendations in our following slides. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muhammad Adnan Ashraf, and my student ID is 230 66264. Today, I will be discussing the following topics like introduction and the problem statement and research question. Let's dive in. The first part is the introduction. This slides introduces the context and relevance of our research. Facebook's ecosystem enables extensive data harvesting, leveraging insights from billions of users to facilitate hyper-personalized advertising. In the case of Cambridge Analytica, over 87 million users' profiles were harvested without the consent to influence the 2016 US election and Brexit referendum. These targeted political ads are opaque and often escape public scrutiny, raising concerns over manipulation and misinformation. Well, the core objective of this presentation is to explore the ethical consent raised by these practices and evaluate if and how regulatory measures should be enforced to ensure fairness, accountability, and democratic integrity. And my next point is problem statement and research question. The core problem lies in the unauthorized use of personal data by companies like Cambridge Analytica for political micro-targeting. With data from over 87 million Facebook users accessed without the consent, individuals were unknowingly subjected to manipulate political messaging. These actions influenced key democratic events, notably the 2016 US presidential elections and the Brexit vote. Furthermore, while regulations such as the GDPR exist, there are still significant gaps in uh, global enforcement and uniformity. Our research seeks to explore these ethical and legal gaps through three questions, like examining CS methods, the adequacy of existing laws, and potential regularity framework for responsible data use. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Adil Hussain, and I'm presenting critical literature review and methodology of the research. In the critical literature review, there is four critical themes for the academic literature surrounding Cambridge Analytica case. First is Haywood, that who explored the role of psychographic, particularly the Oceans model in the political advertising. By leveraging personality data, Cambridge Analytica create highly targeted emotional messages, contributing to manipulating and filter the bubbles that fragment the public opinion. Second, Ward discussed the legal framework of GDPR. Had it been active at the time, GDPR emphasis on consent and transparency would have rendered Cambridge Analytica data practice illegal. However, its jurisdiction is limited to the Europe, revealing enforcement limitation on the global scale. Third, from an ethical lens, Harkins and Dink apply faculty's theory of governmentality, warning how digital data profiling can subvert individual autonomy and civic freedom. Issue legal rules alone can't fully address. Lastly, Mendes Eger outlined the fragmented nature of global data governance. Without consistent international standard, nations become vulnerable to exploitation by the foreign actors operating across the loosely targeted jurisdictions. In summary, these insights demonstrate how the misuse of personal data is in political context is not only a legal violation but a profound ethical and global regulatory challenges, necessitating multidimensional solution. So the next one is methodology. Now, research methodology employs a qualitative secondary data methodology gathering information from the credible and scholarly sources. We accessed databases such as Jester, Means Online, Google Scholar, and government archives to ensure access of verified and relevant data. Selection focuses on peer-reviewed academic articles, office reports, media reports, and legal analysis published between 2016 to 2024. The key topics include the Facebook data system, GDPR scope, psychographic targeting, and digital political ethics. To ensure the relevance, we filter by keyword match and examine each source credibility based on author's qualification, institution affiliation, and citation metrics. This approach allows us to draw on robust, updated, and multidimensional insight for the analyzing and ethical and illegal and legal issues around the Cambridge Analytica practice and the regulatory landscapes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is MD Sabir Islam. My student long 23007254. My slide is result. Key finding: Cambridge Analytica used unauthorized Facebook data for psychography targeting in election. Second, larger sufficiencies offers strong use right but lack global research and consistent enforcement. Third, accountability models, proper audits, transformation analytes, global status, and target penalties. And next slide is discussion of results of finding. Uh, Ethical branch of trust. Cambridge Analytica took advantage of personal data without any prior permission, violation user autonomy and domestic system. Second, regulation gaps. The law such as GDPR are a step in the right decision but are not unusually enforced, creating loopholes to exploit. Systemic override, sustainability data ethic need to be transparency is term and heroic audience third-party audits and stimulate international enforcement politics.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Austin, and I'm going to speak about recommendations or suggestions. To start with the first one, first one is establish an international regulatory framework for data ethics. So basically, while the General Data Protection Regulation offers strong protections within Europe, its jurisdiction does not extend globally, which means that this creates gap that allows companies like Cambridge Analytica to exploit weaker data laws in other regions. As a result, user data can be harvested or used for political micro-targeting with little accountability, particularly in countries lacking robust digital regulations. To address this, what we can do is there is a need for an international regulatory framework for data ethics, one that sets global standards for how data is collected, processed, and used. Such a framework would help prevent the manipulation of data processes by ensuring that ethical data practices are upheld regardless of geography. So, second one is mandate independent algorithm and psychographic audits. So, such in the Cambridge Analytica case, for example, hidden algorithms were used to manipulate voter behavior through psychographic profiling and micro-targeting, often without user content or awareness. So, these opaque systems operated with little oversight raise serious concerns in ethical and democratic. To address this, regular independent audits should be conducted by third-party experts, and it should be mandated to both algorithmic process and psychographic techniques. So what would happen is such audits would result in improving transparency by examining how personal data is turned into psychological profiles and how these profiles influence content targeting. Lastly, we should impose stronger penalties for data misuse to defer future violations. So the current legal penalties for data misuse are often too weak to deter unethical behavior, especially in high-stakes political contexts. Companies and political actors can violate data ethics with minimal consequences. So, introducing tough penalties such as substantial fines, suspension of data operations, or even criminal charges for serious violations can act as a powerful deterrent. And actors can violate data ethics with minimal consequences, undermining both public trust. Finally, to conclude our presentation, I would like to say that the Cambridge Analytica scandal showed serious ethical problems in how personal data was used for political targeting. The company literally took over 87 million Facebook users without permission and used it to influence votes in events like 2016 US election. Although laws like GDPR give people strong data rights, they don't work well across all countries and are not always enforced. With this, I would like to conclude our presentation on the Cambridge Analytica case. Thank you.